Today, we're going to crack open a story that's about 2,500 years old, but you'd swear it was written for us, right now. It holds a surprisingly powerful key to one of our biggest modern problems.
I mean, think about it. Your phone is probably buzzing right now. You've got notifications popping up, a feed that never ends, and let's be honest, you probably have a dozen tabs open. So in this constant storm of information, is that deep, unshakable focus even possible anymore?
Well, you're not the first to ask that. That exact question was asked 2.5 millennia ago by a prince named Jayasena. He was surrounded by luxury, by constant stimulation, and he was absolutely convinced that true mental clarity was a lost cause. Sound familiar?
So the Buddhist response to him was this simple but just profound metaphor. He basically said, of course it seems impossible. You're looking up from the bottom of a deep well. From down there, you can't even see the mountaintop. The whole point is, your environment, your current perspective, it completely limits your idea of what's even possible.
And to explain how you actually climb out of that well, the Buddha told this incredible story. It's this powerful analogy for how you can train that wild, untamed, distractible mind. He compared it to taming a wild elephant. So here's how it goes. The process is super methodical. First, you capture the wild elephant from its natural habitat, the forest of chaos. Then, you tie it firmly to a post to break its reactive, wild instincts. But then, the trainer approaches, not with force, but with kindness and food. It learns simple commands: go, stop, sit, stand, and eventually the real test, to stand perfectly still even when surrounded by total chaos. Only then is the elephant considered tamed, focused, and truly worthy of a king.
Okay, so this is where it gets really interesting. A simple surface-level reading of that story, you miss the most powerful instructions. The real genius is hidden in the original Pali language. And when you look at that, you realize this isn't just a story. It's a precise psychological blueprint.
The whole secret just unlocks when we start asking some simple questions about the tools in the story. Like, for instance, that massive post the untamed elephant is tied to, what if it isn't just a piece of wood at all?
See, in a standard translation, it's a tying post. But when we go back to the original text, that post is actually a metaphor for something called satipatthana. And that means the four anchors of mindfulness. Satipatthana is not a passive object, it's an active, conscious process. It means deliberately anchoring your awareness in four specific areas: your body, your feelings, your mind, and your overall mental state. So it's not about being tied up and restrained, it's about you actively grounding your own attention.
And this deeper meaning just keeps going. The next key phrase, a simple translation might say the elephant is taken into the open air, but the original Pali term is abhakasagato, a totally different idea.
This isn't about a physical location, it's a psychological state. Abhokasagato means arriving at an unobstructed space, an internal freedom from that tangled, suffocating jungle of craving and distraction. It's about mental liberation.
And that brings us to the ultimate goal of the training. The first translation tells us the elephant becomes immovable, which sounds pretty good, right? But the original word, anenja, points to a state of being that is infinitely more profound.
Anenja isn't just about not moving your body. It means being imperturbable, literally unshakable. It's a state of mental equilibrium so deep, so stable, that all the chaos happening on the outside causes zero internal disturbance. Nothing can touch you.
So, what does this ancient psychological journey even look like through a modern lens? How do we visualize this incredible shift from a mind that's constantly on fire to one that is truly imperturbable?
Well, the source text describes that untamed state as kama parilehena, the burn of sensual passion. So picture a brain just snarled and tangled up in these fiery red wires. Every single wire is a notification, a craving, an urge to scroll. It's a constant, draining, exhausting burn.
Then comes the intervention. This is satipatthana, the anchor of mindfulness. Imagine a massive, heavy, cool blue anchor just slamming down from above, and it instantly severs all those fiery red wires. This is not passive observation. It's a decisive, powerful action that cuts right through the noise and grounds the mind.
And this is the final state, anyanja. The mind becomes this serene, glowing, geometric core. Now, the digital chaos, all the pings and alerts and notifications, They're still there, but they just bounce harmlessly off this invisible protective shield. The chaos stays external, but the core remains totally undisturbed. So ultimately, this ancient analogy is really a timeless user manual. This was never about some elephant in a forest 2,500 years ago. It's about the wild, powerful, and incredibly distractible mind that's inside each and every one of us, right here, right now.
The crucial point really is this contrast. We can live with a mind that feels like a frayed, tangled knot of chaotic reactions, or we can train it to become this beautifully woven tapestry of calm, focused intention, integrated, whole, and directed by us.
And that leaves us with one final and, I think, pretty provocative question. In a world that is constantly, relentlessly trying to capture your attention, what is the anchor that you are using to tame your mind? What post are you tying your elephant to?